Hello, and in today's video I'm going to be giving you a basic tutorial on how you can create blooket hacks with JavaScript. Now, some things before we start that you're gonna need to have is at least a basic knowledge of JavaScript, unless you type everything exactly the way I do. And that wouldn't really get you anywhere, because you could just use others. But you gotta have a basic knowledge of JavaScript, a web browser, and also probably a blooket account. And that really should be it, except for maybe like code editor, so it makes more sense. But I'm just gonna get started. So I'm currently in a blooket game, and as you can see, this is a fishing frenzy blooket game, and I can cast my thing, and I can answer the question, and I'll draw something. So, see, I have 53 pounds. So, yeah, but if we want to hack it, what we have to do is we're going to press inspect and then go to console. But if you're too lazy to do that, press Ctrl-Shift-J and it should do the same thing. Now, what you need to do is, and this might not really make sense for anyone even with a deep understanding of JavaScript, because this is kind of a React-based thing. And when I first saw this, it did not make any sense to me. But this will only work on blooket probably, but you're going to want to type in this line of code. Let hack is object.values document.querySelector app div close the object values 1.children 1._owner. So now we have this, and you're gonna see something really cool. Watch. We have hack.stateNode.state, and right here it gives us a bunch of data, like for example our weight and our weight too. What is that, you might ask? That's the same thing, and that is actually used for anti-cheat purposes, but you'd be fine even if you didn't. But anyways, it's a bunch of data about the game, and if we were to click, we can actually find the correct answer. If we go to hack.statenode.state.question, correct answers 0. So this is DQ Dairy Queen. And we can actually manipulate this. We can say question correct answers equals, and I'm not sure if this will work, but it should, so I'm going to try. Correct answers is hack.statenode.state question answers. And now I'm going to hack.force update hack.statenode.state. Oh my gosh, I'm so unused to this. Hack.statenode.force update. And now this is not Jack in the Box, but we can click it and it will say we got it right. And yeah, there's a bunch of things we can actually do, and I am going to create multiple hacks in this video, but I'm going to start with a simple correct answer hack. So I've went ahead and created a GitHub. Is that how you spell? I've created a GitHub repository called blooket hack tutorial, and I am just going to write down my first correct answer hack that applies to every game mode, and I'll put it in here, and then I'll use it in here. And we'll also debug with this. So, the first step, again, is to get our hack. Let hack is object.values document.querySelector app div 1.children 1._owner. Now that we have our hack variable, which is technically the React handler, but that's too hard to type, so I'm going to call it hack. Now that we have this, we can create a simple interval. So, we're going to make a set interval for, let's say, about like every 0.1 seconds maybe. And what we're going to do is we're going to say hack.statenode.state.question.correct answers is hack.statenode.state.question.answers. Now, if we paste this in, we should be able to press whatever we want, and it'll say we get it right. Like, I'm just going to make sure. Okay, this is Panda Express, but if I say in and out, it tells us we got it right. Now, most hacks do not work this way. In those much better ways, we can actually create hacks in much different styles, which I will start to show you now. But we've already created our first base hack, and I'm going to commit it. Okay, so the next hack I'm going to do that I've already created the file for is the set weight hack. Now, this applies to almost any game mode, but I'm going to do it for Fishing Frenzy and weight. So, first step, actually, that I'm going to show you is prompt and alert. So we have prompt, we have alert. But what you can see, actually, is that these two functions are modified, and they don't do anything. Nothing at all. And that's in an attempt from the creator to actually block prompts. But it's actually able to be bypassed in a special way like this. So we're going to say let iframe is going to be document.createElement iframe. We're going to do iframe style visibility is hidden. We're going to do, let's say, document.body.append child iframe. Now we're going to do const prompt is iframe.contentWindow.prompt.bind to window. Now we're going to remove the iframe. So if you'd actually take a look, it should allow us now to do a prompt. Yes, it does. And it gives us the output back. So we're actually going to use this so we can have the prompt function here. Now the next step is actually setting the weight. So first we need to find out what our currency, like this, is stored on the state node. So if we go ahead and cast our line, and then we answer correctly, we get 7, because we don't want it to be 0, because that's generic. And I'm going to paste in the hack here. And now we're going to look through the state node until we find something that matches how much we have. And in this case, for Fishing Frenzy, it's weight. But for example, in Gold Quest, it's gold. You'll also notice a weight too that's used for anti-cheat purposes. Now, what we could do is go in here and we could say hack.statenode.state.weight is parse int prompt amount, and this would technically work, but you'd have to cast your line, and there's a chance of the anti-cheat detecting this. So what's actually better is we're going to say let amount is prompt amount, and I forgot to add the number on the outside, and then what we're going to do is hack.statenode.setState, which automatically updates. And remember, think back to what it's called. So in our case, it's weight. So we're going to do weight amount and weight2 amount. Now we're going to copy and paste this and do hack.alternate. This is also for anti-cheat purposes. Now, if we paste this in, we should say we want as much as we want pounds, and we will get that actually. Now, sometimes it might wait until we cast our line and get a little bit more, but as you can see, it will actually update because it ends the game, because I'd set it to a weight and it got more than the weight, so it's ended the game here. Okay, the next thing I want to show you is set timeout in random manipulation. So random manipulation is actually specific to Fishing Frenzy in a couple other game modes, but it's where we actually manipulate what we get when we, well, cast our line. And it's actually already gets picked the second we cast this line. And the proof of that actually is we can say math.random, like let original is math.random. So there we go. And we're going to say math.random is we're going to do console.log picked, and we're going to do return the original. Now it already picks it, and as we can see, it already actually knew that we got this cat before. And set timeout manipulation has something to do with that, really, because it slows down or speeds up how fast our line gets caught. And before you ask, no, we cannot manipulate boxes with random manipulation. Believe it or not, we don't actually need the hack variable for this. So the only variable I'm really going to declare is let random pick is 0.999999, like a bunch of them. And this is basically like the last possible thing before JavaScript rounds to 1, so we can get as high random as we want. Now I'm going to start with set timeout manipulation. So set timeout, we're going to do let original st is going to be set timeout, and then set timeout is going to be a function with f for function and t for time, and we're going to completely ignore the time and just call the function. And if we want to reset it, we can leave it like this, but we'll just completely ignore the time. So if we were to do this, we should actually catch instantly. Sorry, I clicked wrong. It doesn't affect that, but we instantly get hooked. So watch. Watch how fast we can cast a line. Now, because we do that so fast, we actually answer incorrect. Now, the next part of this is random manipulation. We're going to do a function, and every single time, we're going to return this random pick here. Now, if we cast slowly, and we say this is Wendy's, we're going to get the poison dart frog every single time. Oh, it's not 1946, but we're going to get the poison dart frog every time until we actually get a better lure. Now, one thing that I want to show you related to this is the higher the number, that's not 1, it's less than 1, but higher, the better we actually get. But the lower doesn't necessarily mean it's terrible that we get. And we'll get these now. And then at like level 4, we get megalodons. But, for example, if we do let best, and we can do this, or we can do this, where we change this to a 1 and make every other one of these 9s into a 0. And what we'll get, if we do frenzy, you might be able to guess, based on the variable name, is a fishing frenzy. And I have tested this before, so I know that this actually applies to everyone, even if you're just manipulating it. But that's it for the little fishing frenzy section on set timeout manipulation and random manipulation.